Alright, so this video is to go over lesson 1, making your first game with Stencyl. Alright, so if you remember, this will be from the November 4th posting in our Google Classroom. And one of the things that we have right here, I attached was the Stencyl Educator's kit. And so the first thing you need to do if you haven't done this is download it. And when you download it, it will be a zipped file, which means it's compressed right here. And what you need to do is just click on that, open it up, and you want these two files. But in order to access those files, you must extract them. So what does that mean? All you have to do is click on them, click and hold, and drag them onto your desktop. All right. I already did that, so I'm not going to do it right now. But I would encourage you making a folder in your desktop called Stencyl or Game Design and putting these two folders in there. All right. And what else you might need to do is go to the handout folder, Wathy handout, Vama Stencyl, and then you need to grab, there's a Stencyl shortcut there so you have access to the game. Okay, so let's actually get into the making your first game. So let's open up Stencyl. I have it open here. And the first thing you need to do, say if you didn't have Project 1, you need to import Project 1. So let me just move the screen over. Yeah, it says right here, after launching Stencyl, open up Project 1. Okay, so we go import game. Now what you need to do is search for where did you, those folders that you extracted, those ones that you downloaded. So I'm just going to go and find mine really quickly. Where do I save it? And there, Stencyl Educator's Kit. It'll be in the project files for activities folder, and just project 1 is what you need. Go open, bam, there it is. So let's open that up. You might need to upgrade the game. Okay, here we go. So when a couple of things to point out. So this is just your dashboard. So it kind of everything that your game might contain. You have actor types, so this can be enemies, heroes, any characters, anything that, any bad guys. These guys would be created here. Next we have backgrounds. We don't have anything for this game. Fonts. Say if you want any different writing, you can import your own fonts or make your own fonts. Scenes. These are pretty much just your different levels. We have sounds, tile sets, which help create different scenes. We'll talk about this in 1 second. We have actor behaviors. So these are different behaviors you can attach to your different actors, your different characters. So we have jumping, we have walking, all these other different things. So we'll look at in a little more detail. We have scene behaviors. These are kind of rules that you can set for each of your different levels. Currently, there's none. All right. So let's again. So we had tile sets here. We will look at the tile sets within our level 1. So open up level 1. Use double click right on level 1. It loads, and here we go. So this we just have a basic guy, and it looks like an enemy. Let's just test our game. Top right. Click on test game, and this will be loading for a little bit. So this might take a little while, but you just wait and you wait and you wait. There it goes. And now if you move back and forth, you can see, oh, that's cool. I can move back and forth, but I can't jump. I'm pressing spacebar for jump. Nothing's happening, and not very exciting. So what can you do? Well, in our tutorial here, it says we can add some blocks with the editor, and then we can add some behaviors. Okay, well, let's add some blocks first. So this was the tile set that I was talking about that you can import. So what you can do here, so whatever you have selected on the right here is what you'll be able to place on your screen here on the left. So if I click and hold, or if I click in different spots, I can create these blocks down here. If I want the rounded blocks for the edges, it looks a little better. It looks pretty cool. What do you think? Not bad, not bad. Maybe I want just a clear one for there. Okay, so it's starting to look a little different. Maybe I want to make some platforms. Maybe I want to make them jump pretty high. I want to do something like this. Maybe I want to create another one up here. Or if you want, again, so if you click and hold and drag, you can flop on more, whoops, let's undo, Control Z, more than one. So say if you made a bunch of stuff like this and you're like, I actually didn't want that, just go on the left, the arrow, click and hold, make a box around it, press the delete button, good to go. Secondly, your actors right here, if I wanted to, I could add another enemy. And in fact, I'm going to add another enemy right there. Why not? It's fun. Okay, so within our scene, there's all these other things right here. We're not going to look at this in this lesson. What we are going to do, we want our guy to jump. So we're going to have to open up the actor type called hero. So let's go to dashboard, actor types, hero. We want him to jump. So I open up this, what do you see? Okay, well there's different animations here. We see that it plays each of these different animations over a certain period of time here for 150 milliseconds. And there's 4 different options, and that'll create this walking motion. Pretty cool. But that's not what we came here for. We came here for behaviors. So currently there's walking, and there's die and pit and reload. So I'm assuming if your level, if there's a cliff. Actually, you know what? In fact, let's make a cliff. Let's make a cliff. That way we can prove this. I'm assuming if there's a cliff, then maybe if he fell on the cliff, I'm assuming it would reload the game. So I'm just going to delete that a bit. I think that work. There we go. All right, cool. So I'm assuming that's what it does. And in fact, I'll test it. While I'm testing, we need to add a behavior. So to add behavior, it's just on the bottom here. We can add behaviors. We can remove behaviors. So we want to add one that will make us jump. Okay. Before we do that, let's just test this out. There it goes. So die and pit and reload, that's what it does. So but we want to jump, so let's go add behavior, and these are just preset behaviors that are in Stencyl or that have been downloaded. There's some pretty cool ones here, but the one that we want is jumping. Okay, so let's double click on jumping and jump key. Well, there's something called jump. It doesn't really tell me what it means. Some people might want up to jump. What is jump? What key is that? Well, right now I'm just going to select it. And if you really want to get into like what key is that, well, you can go to settings, go to controls, and then right here we see jump. Space is given to jump. Okay, space is given to jump right now. So that was in settings again. Settings, controls, and space to jump. Okay, so we want that. Jump force 25. I don't know what that means, but 25, it's default, so let's just go with it. We can always change it. Jump sound. Yeah, let's put the sound that we had before in our dashboard. We have 2 sounds imported. Let's give it the jump sound. Why not? Jump right animation. Let's just use walk right, unless they specify a certain one. Yeah, they said walk right. And for jumping left, let's do walk left. And that looks like we have everything filled in. We're good to go. Time to test our game. So let's see how as this loads. Anything else we need to start doing? Okay, so behaviors. Okay, we'll be adding another one soon. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, we can jump pretty well. Not bad. But okay, our enemy's there, and there's not really much exciting going on. Other than that, I can run off the cliff again and it'll reload. But that's let's try to go do something a little bit more exciting than that. Stomping on enemies. That way we can kill our enemies. Sounds pretty cool. And also, what we could do? We could turn this up a bit. Why not? Let's put it to 35. See what happens. And let's add another behavior. Stomp on enemies. So stomp on enemies. Stompable group. What group can this actor stomp on? Well, I think we want him to stomp on enemies. And I'm assuming that yes, our enemy here is, if we look right here, he's in the enemies group. So that's all done for us, right? Okay, that's done. Let's test our game out. And let's see. Okay. Loading, loading. So one thing you might notice, there's a lot of, you can make a couple little changes. You go test game, you load it out. Right, so there's a lot of back and forth in that sense. Oh, look at that. So I can jump, I can actually reach my platforms. That's exciting. That is super exciting. And I jumped off the outside of the boundary. That's not what I wanted. But let's see if the stomp on enemies works. Bam, bam. Sweet. It works. I can now, I can now stomp on my enemies. That is great. That is great. This made the game so much better. I'm just loving it. Loving it. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's add a couple more guys. Maybe I want to stomp on a guy up here. There's not a good guy up there. Let's add another guy there. And what else do we want to do? What exactly is happening here? Under the hood, the behavior is listening for collisions between player and any actors that are considered enemies. When this happens, the enemy is killed. Okay, so like this is telling us here, that stomp on enemies behavior we just gave to our actor. So what happens, there is a zone, it recognizes a zone around our hero, there's a zone around our enemy. When those two collide from the top, the enemy dies, is killed. That's kind of what is happening in the background. We'll get into all those details as the weeks go along. Okay, so now there's this optional activity to draw score. So now we go to open up level 1, flip to its events page. So we click on events. We see we have this tab. So this is something new. We have all our different behaviors here. Sorry, not behaviors. We have our palette on the right. That's just a bunch of things we can grab from. We have events on the left. We have kind of our working workboard in the middle. So what do we want to do? Use the draw text block under the drawing category to draw the score to the screen. What goes into those numbers in the field? Experiment and see what happens. Alright, the score block can be obtained on the game attributes page. Under the attributes category, it's called enemies killed. Alright, so I'm going to go draw text anything at X, Y. So what does this X, Y mean? Well, that's a location. So if we go back to our scene right here, and you take a look at the bottom right here. So we have an X value and a Y value. Keep your eyes on that X, Y. Right here, it's close to 0, 0. As I move to the right, my X increases. As I move down, my Y increases. So the Y-axis is kind of flipped over the X-axis to what you might be used to in your math class. So Y is actually increases as you go down. All right, so maybe you want the score. How about we choose in the top right area? So maybe around my mouse, we can say, why not 550 for X and 30 for Y. Let's do that. Oops. I'm gonna go to events. So 550 for X, 30 for Y. What text do we want to draw? Let's hit something about game attributes under attributes, enemies killed. Okay, so we see attributes, we see game attributes there. We have enemies killed. So this here was something that was made. This isn't always in the palette. This is a special attribute that was made, and it detects any time an enemy is killed. So see what I did right there. I take this. What do I want to draw? Well, I want to draw how many enemies are killed, and that would kind of be my score. So this thing will update that, and you can just click and hold, and you see it kind of highlights. You let go, and it gets dropped right in there. And we see that this matches nicely. The little puzzle pieces fit together. You let go. Let's test our game and see what happens. Loading. So, there we go. We see this is where the XY value is of where I put my score. See, it's 0, and let's see if it'll increase as I dominate these bad guys. Oh yeah, 1 score. Yes, new high score of 2. All right, and we see as I finish all those, we have high score of 5. Excited, my guy's excited. He's jumping around, and he falls off the pit. Oh, look at that! The score stayed at 5. So the interesting thing, there's nothing, we didn't write anything down or any code or any instructions for the score to go back to 0 after I died. That's why I continued. That's a little bit beyond this lesson. So I hope you enjoyed lesson 1. I encourage you to explore, just play around with this. Extend the scene if you want to. You can make it bigger. You can add more tiles. Just have some fun with it, and even try to go into hero, go to behaviors, try to add some more behaviors. Maybe you want to add behaviors for the bad guys. Maybe you want them to walk back and forth. I don't know. Have some fun with it, and check out the next video. Thanks for watching.